Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to any new viewers. This is a reading for Capricorn, my beautiful Capricorns, Sun, Moon and Rising Capricorns. This is all about how your person of interest is currently feeling about you. So if you're wondering what your person is feeling deep down, whether or not that reflects or is reflected by what they're showing you, what they like, what they dislike about the connection or the potential connection, and of course their next moves, what is going to happen next, then please keep on watching. Of course, if you enjoy the reading, don't forget to like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. Capricorn, let's see what's going on. Feel free to check out your other placements as well, or the sign of your person if you know what that is. Oops, okay, we've had a few come out here. Let's grab those. And see where we're at. Okay, we've got the Wheel of Fortune and we have Strength as well. Very, very interesting. I think it's looking like Capricorn, and I've really just taken these cards as they have fallen. I don't normally do reversals like this, but this is just exactly how they flipped out of the deck, so that's how I've taken it. It's almost like there's been some changes. There have been some sort of sudden turnarounds in this situation, or sudden changes, and things are, I would say, a little bit volatile at the moment. It's like, you know, whenever you have a conversation with this person, it can be very up and down, right? Now, hear me out here, Capricorn. It seems as though for you, the spell has been broken a little bit. And what I mean by that is, if you held this person in very high regard, if you were able to kind of overlook this person's flaws, it's almost like you're not doing that anymore. You've taken the blindfold off. You've seen this person for what they really are. And I would say that they are kind of starting to understand that. This is a very strong-willed individual. Now we have the Nine of Cups, we have the Emperor, could be an Aries, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. Doesn't necessarily have to be, but that could sort of be represented strongly, one of those signs in this person's chart. Either way, this person is very intense, but they don't like to come across as intense as they really are. This person is very strong-willed. This person wants to be in charge. They want to be kind of the boss of a situation. They want to be able to make the decisions. They want to have the final say or the final word in a situation or in a relationship. That's just the kind of role that they want to have. But they understand also that if they come across as a little bit too kind of domineering, that can be too much for some people, and that doesn't always, you know, come across very well, especially in this day and age where one person just tries to take the lead like that. So I almost sense that they're losing a little bit of that grip. Not that I'm saying they were able to ever really control you, but I think you're just now starting to, as I said, see this person for what they really are. You're starting to see that they have this tendency to be very dominant, be very, I don't want to say aggressive, but just be very authoritative is what I'm trying to get at here. Now, with this Emperor energy, they do really still feel as though they have the upper hand in the situation. They do. They don't feel like, even though they're aware that they have, or they're feeling like they have potentially lost some of the control in the situation, they are still feeling like, for whatever reason, they still want to be in charge. They still want to call the shots. They still want to make the decisions about this, future decisions about, you, about them, about the connection, about where things go. They're coming across as the Nine of Cups. This is what's interesting. They're coming across as, very happy, very loving. They're able to kind of put that on when they need to. But the reality is that I would say they're a very logical kind of thinker, a very rational thinker. They are not really going to let their emotions ever take control or take over to the point where that gets in the way of their decision making. Let's just put it that way. This is not a good or bad thing, by the way, just laying it out how it's coming across, how this person is. Queen of Coins, Queen of Pentacles, in the reverse. I do feel as though this is definitely representing you. This is representing your energy, Capricorn, and it's so interesting that it's come up in this reversed position, because this is part of what I'm thinking, that this person may have been seeing you as being somewhat submissive, as being someone who is also very, very traditional. And of course, being a Capricorn does have that as one of, the common traits of, tradition being very important. But I don't think you are actually as traditional as this person thought you were. And I think they're realizing that if they're wanting to be in that typical dominant role, they're realizing that you are not going to fall into that typical submissive role, if that makes sense. I think they're finally realizing that you also have a lot of strength, determination, and you also have that authoritativeness about your nature and about what you want for yourself, and you're not always going to be willing to back down or concede to what this person wants and let them call the shots. And I think they're starting to finally realize that. Maybe they didn't at the start, because perhaps you were being a little bit more quiet than this person, or maybe this person is a little bit more extroverted. And so you maybe were happy to go along with what they wanted, or with various things, because it didn't really bother you either way. But they kind of took that to mean like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm in charge, and Capricorn's happy to just follow my lead. However, that's not quite the case. It's more that you are just willing to let certain things go, because if it's not that important, why make a fuss? It's kind of that sort of mature way of thinking, like, well, you got to pick your battles, and what's the point? If it doesn't really bother me either way, what we do or what we decide in this situation, I'm just happy to default to what this person wants. But if it's something that is very important to you, you're not willing to do that. So this is what this person is finally seeing, or finally understanding. It's a little bit naive of them that they thought that they were just going to be in charge all the time, to be honest. A little bit naive. I see that there is definitely a connection here between the two of you. There's a connection that makes it so that you and them, it's almost like you can't stay apart for too long. You can't stay out of communication for too long. you know, no one's doing like the silent treatment. You both like to stay in touch and stay in communication. No one's, you know, ghosting the other person. There's nothing like that. And this person likes that about the connection. They like the fact that you're always willing to communicate and they're always willing to communicate as well, even if you don't always agree or you're starting to disagree on certain important topics or important points. At least you are willing to talk. At least there is an open dialogue that happens. That's what this person likes. And I do think that sometimes it might be worth actually taking a little bit of a break from each other. But I feel as though a break, if you do ever take a break from this person or they take one from you, or, you know, it's mutual, it ends up being helpful. And you'd much rather come back together and talk things out. Once again, I'm sensing that with the devil in reverse here, I'm sensing that there is some kind of like blindfold coming off, or them realizing that they don't have the level of control or influence that they thought they did. And also the connection is not as intense for you as they thought it was. They mistakenly thought that you would just do anything they wanted. And or they could at least convince you to do anything that they wanted, and that again the big decisions, the tough decisions would fall to them and you would be happy to default to this person. Now that they're realizing that is not the case, that does surprise them and that does upset them a little bit, and they can't help that. Again, I'm not saying this is a right or wrong, but this is just the way this person is. In terms of what's happening next, this is where it gets really, really interesting, because we have the Wheel of Fortune, we have the Strength card. Now, Wheel of Fortune, this is a very blessed card to get, especially when it comes up in, you know, what's coming next sort of thing. This is a very excellent card to get in that sort of position. It does signal that things will change for the better, because I do think there is some kind of difficulty going on at the moment. Things will improve, things will change for the better. And I see that this person may actually make a move that surprises you, right? They may actually concede something. They may compromise on something. They may come back to you and say, you know what, I've had to think about this and I've realized that you're right, or I've realized that we need to discuss a solution where we're both going to be happy, you know, where we can make it work, where you can have your needs met as well as me. Like, there's going to be something that happens, and it probably will be a conversation with this person that you honestly, I think, will be surprised by. You'll be surprised by the fact that they are willing to compromise. They're willing to be as flexible as they are with you. Now, sometimes this can even be, you know, taking things to the next level where you didn't expect that to happen. You know, they may talk about their feelings. They may talk about what they want for the future. And it may involve, again, a commitment or a partnership or something that you weren't expecting them to talk about right now. So this is looking good. This is looking good. With the Strength energy, there is this sense of having to control those emotions, or I would say those natural tendencies that this person has. They're having to control the beast. the beast within, the beast that wants to roar, the beast that wants to get their way all the time. They're having to control that because they realize that is not helpful in this connection, in this relationship with you. That is not going to be helpful because you are not this typical submissive person that's just going to do whatever this person says. They're going to have to control that aspect of themselves in order to compromise, in order to work together as a team, and in order to move forward. They are sensing that this is a destined connection. They are sensing that they're lucky to have met you. They don't want to let this go, basically. They don't want to let this go that easily. And so this is why they're willing to make concessions, compromises, and willing to control some of their impulses, which may have worked in the past for this person. This person may also, there may be other situations in their life where they have to be this authoritative. Perhaps, for example, they're used to being that way with their family members, or perhaps they are used to being that way at work. Maybe they have a very high up position at work and they're used to being in charge, and it's so difficult because it just comes naturally to them. It's so difficult to then be in a situation where they have to kind of change. But they're realizing that that's important. I'm going to leave it there, Capricorn. I hope you enjoyed that reading. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you all in the next video.